Hi, my name is Patrick Rader, and this is Inside Defense. I started training Krav Maga because I was basically getting out of shape. Hadn't been training in a while, and my wife passed away, so we were kind of going through a rough time as a family, and it was a good time for me and the kids to do something as a family to get back in shape and also bring everybody closer through the hard times. I have two boys. One is Sean Rader, and he is 19, and then Christopher Rader, who is 14. As a family training together, it really brought us closer to, especially through what our family was going through, and to have both kids on the mat off and on, whether I was training with both of them or training with each of them individually, it really created a closer bond for all of us. I started training in martial arts at 6 years old. I did judo for a number of years growing up overseas, and then also got into the shooting and handgun and rifle sports through my parents. And I also started at a young age, probably 6 or 7 years old, with .22 caliber. And then as I got older, I got bored with shooting paper. So then I started liking to shoot people, so I got into paintball. And through paintball, I traveled the nation and the world and was on a nationally ranked team and also a world champion team. Through that, was able to then get into more of the sports side of shooting. Then I got into doing pistol competitions where I just really enjoyed myself, and then reached out to multiple different schools and different coaches and training, and learned a lot of just handgun basics, rifle basics, and then progressed through that to get into a lot of the shooting competitions and the sport-wise within the firearms industry. That's a good question, because there's a lot of similarities between the two, but I would say the main difference is more of situational awareness.
Never let someone like Mr. Pat get behind you. Got it? Cool.
In the beginning, when I started shooting, I had pretty good situational awareness, but it just grew faster and faster. And then when I transitioned into Krav, it just added to, that was like another tool in the toolbox that just added to my Krav skills. Because you don't know who you're messing with or who's gonna end up where on the street, right? I met Noy right after he opened Gateway Cities. He's been real great. He has a lot of knowledge that he's shared. I've learned a lot over the last couple of years being here. I always enjoy sharing my knowledge with other people, and Noy has given me the opportunity to really take charge and give back to the community with the student base. I've coached other sports and really enjoyed coaching, so this was a step into doing a similar thing with a different background. I enjoy teaching a little bit of everything. I really think that I like having a well-rounded class. Some of the things that I try to impart on people the most, that was really brought to me through Coach K and some other people, is the physical conditioning side. I look at it as, if you don't have the physical stamina or the conditioning to last that 3-minute fight, or it could even be 30 seconds, but with the adrenaline rush and everything else going on, if you don't have the physical conditioning to make it through that, then you could train and do, be the best at everything else, but you'll end up failing in the end. Yeah, definitely. There's a difference in training between age groups, between males and females, and also between skill levels, because you can't always take somebody who is running at 110% the whole time and expect them to get good training with somebody that's their first day here. If that person doesn't have the ability to be able to judge themselves or be able to judge who they're working with, to either scale their training or have to pick their training up, you know, it makes it really hard. So being able to judge people and you know, see how they work with multiple groups works out really well. One of the most important things is to find great training partners. Looking for a good training partner is you need to understand them as well as they need to understand you. And having somebody that is willing to take you down the journey of being able to tell you, hey, you know what, you messed up in this, but you're doing good in this, versus the type of person who just doesn't say anything and just either always ramps up or tries to always one-up you. There's a big difference between the two. And you know, in the beginning, I remember we had one of the instructors always pointed out the fact is, once you find somebody good to train with, is, you know, train with that person. But the ability to find a group of people who are good to train with is really hard. But when you get that group of people, is to latch on to all of them and then take the best from, you know, from each of them. I've really like the stand-up game, boxing side of it. I've never done any of that prior to starting Krav, and I just really have latched on to the striking side. You know, my background with judo and wrestling and jiu-jitsu is always been the ground, you know, throws and doing ground game. So learning that whole stand-up has been totally a new experience for me, and I really enjoy learning that and doing that. Definitely have an open mind, because Krav is nothing like, you know, you get people who have trained in other martial arts. It's nothing like any of the other martial arts, but then it is very similar to other martial arts. So you got to keep an open mind. You know, try changes. Don't be set in your ways. And you know, for the people who get discouraged after the first class because they might not learn what they thought they were going to learn, or they missed something, you know, it's just like learning anything. You got to keep an open mind to it, and you always got to be willing to learn and take that next step. You know, be adventurous, not, you know, kind of set in your ways, or you know, don't stand back away from the crowd. You got to be adventurous. Give 110% when you're on the mat, and you know, things will come. It takes time. Not everybody is a total athletic, you know, type A personality where they can just jump on the mat and do everything right the first time. You know, don't get discouraged, and just keep trying and trying and trying. The more you try, the better you'll get over time. It's a mental game. You have to be mentally prepared. Every test you go through, it builds upon the last. So the first test you go through, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And then the next test comes and you're like, oh my God, this is the hardest thing. And it just, like I said, it just builds upon. But then you hit your stride in doing testing. And that's where you really need to start like challenging yourself and challenging the people around you and taking control and being the leader of the group. To really, you know, to get outside of your comfort box and be able to strive and learn and get up to that next level. Main takeaways, I think, is the family environment. You know, we do a lot of joking, and there's a really good and well-developed group of people here that, you know, are consistently working out, but they're always inviting to everybody who comes, either for the first time, who have been coming for a while. There's no negative atmosphere or negative type of person where, you know, they have to be, you know, the alpha dog. Everybody's here to learn. And it really helps out the environment, I think, with the school. Oh, what a journey it's been. I've met a lot of great people and trained with a lot of great people and have gained a lot of wisdom from, all the people I've had the pleasures with training with. And I really fell in love with Krav. And it just started being, okay, we're gonna do it just to get in shape, work out, 2 or 3 nights a week, to becoming working out 5 days a week, usually 2 to 3 hours per day. And then it just grew from there as a love for this art, being able to train with some really great people and learn different skills and techniques from, and different people's opinion on how they see something has really been a huge growth for myself. Do what is hard today and do the impossible tomorrow. Come on, Chris.
I heard that. With a big smile.
Do what is hard today and achieve the possible tomorrow. I messed that one up. God, I messed that up.
It's okay.
Do what is impossible today. No.
That was it. That was it.
Last one.